The wind came first, low, howling and mean. It swept across Dead Man's Plain like a living thing, dragging snow and dust together until the sky lost its color. The land had seen blizzards before, but this one carried hunger in its teeth. Even the cattle knew it. They huddled against the fences of abandoned ranches, ribs sharp as broken fences, eyes rolling white with fear. Caleb Rourke rode straight into it anyway. His coat was stiff with old blood and newer snow. The horse beneath him, an iron-gray mare named Mercy, snorted through frosted nostrils, hooves crunching ice where dirt should have been. Caleb leaned forward in the saddle, squinting through the storm, his beard crusted white. He should have turned back. Every instinct told him this land wasn't meant to be crossed today. But instincts didn't put food on the table, and they didn't quiet the ghosts that followed a man who'd survived too many winters. That's when he saw them. At first, he thought it was driftwood caught in the snow. Then one of the shapes moved. Caleb slid from the saddle and dropped to one knee, heart hammering. Two small bodies lay, half buried against a collapsed fence. Post-children girls, skin stretched tight over bone. Their lips were blue, their clothes torn thin as paper. Starving. The younger one didn't move at all. The older girl lifted her head just enough to look at him. Her eyes were too big for her face, dark and burning with fever. Still, she tried to sit up. "Easy," Caleb said, his voice rough as gravel. He shrugged off his coat and wrapped it around them, and shaking despite years of hard living. "You're safe now." She shook her head. "No," she whispered. Her voice was barely there, like a candle in wind. "We ain't." Caleb swallowed hard. He pulled jerky from his saddlebag, broke it into tiny pieces, and pressed it to her lips. She chewed slowly, painfully. The younger girl stirred, a weak sound escaping her throat. Relief hit him like a punch. Then the older girl grabbed his sleeve. "Mister," she said. Her grip was weak, but her eyes weren't. They searched his face like she needed to memorize it. "Don't take us back." Caleb froze. "Back where?" Before he could ask, she coughed, red staining the snow. Her fingers tightened once more. "They'll come," she whispered. "The men from the Circle Bar. I owed them. He's dead now. They said we were next." "The Circle Bar?" Caleb's jaw set. Everyone on the frontier knew that brand. Ranchers turned predators, debt collectors who took land, cattle. Sometimes worse. He'd crossed them before. It hadn't ended clean. The wind screamed louder, like it knew what was coming. Caleb lifted both girls, one arm under each, and staggered toward Mercy. His legs burned. The blizzard thickened, erasing tracks almost as soon as they were made. As he mounted, the older girl sagged against him. Her breathing grew shallow. "Hey," he said, panic breaking through his calm. "Stay with me." "What's your name?" She smiled faintly. "Anna." Her head rolled back, eyes fixed on the white sky. "Mister," she whispered one last time, "if they take us. It won't hurt long, will it?" Something inside Caleb shattered. "No," he said, voice breaking. "I won't let them." But Anna was already gone. The blizzard swallowed her last breath, leaving Caleb Rourke kneeling in the snow with a promise he wasn't sure he could keep, and enemies who would kill him for trying. The wind carried hoofbeats in the distance. Someone else was out there, and they were riding fast. The storm didn't stop when Caleb Rourke reached the old Kincaid ranch. It followed him. Snow cut sideways across the land, screaming through broken corral, posts and rattling the loose tin on the barn, roof like a death rattle. The ranch had been abandoned for years, maybe longer, but the house still stood, hunched and stubborn against the plain, like an old fighter refusing to lie down. Caleb slid from the saddle. The surviving girl clutched tight against his chest. Her name was Lily. She hadn't spoken since Anna died. Her eyes stayed open, glassy and too aware, watching everything, with the quiet terror of someone who'd learned the world did not pause for children. Her small fingers twisted into Caleb's shirt like it was the only solid thing left. "You're all right," he murmured, though he didn't know if it was true. "I got you." Mercy whinnied softly as he tied her off inside the barn, shielding her from the worst of the wind. Caleb carried Lily into the house and kicked the door shut behind them. Darkness swallowed them whole. The air inside smelled of dust, mouse droppings, and old sorrow. He set Lily down gently on a broken table and struck a match. The flame shook in his hand, then steadied. The room came alive in pieces. An iron stove, empty shelves, a photograph cracked. Down the middle, showing a family, smiling at a future that never came. Caleb fed the stove with splintered chair legs until fire caught. Warmth crept back slowly, painfully. Lily shivered. He knelt in front of her, pulling a canteen from his pack and letting her sip water drop by drop. She drank greedily at first, then slowed, coughing weakly. "Easy," he said. "Slow now." She nodded. For a long moment, neither of them spoke. Then Lily whispered, "They killed Pa." Caleb didn't flinch. He'd known before she said it. "He tried to fight," she continued. "Circle Bar men. Said we owed more than we could give. Said Ma would have wanted it that way." Her voice cracked. They laughed when he fell. Caleb stared into the fire, jaw clenched so tight it hurt. Circle Bar didn't just collect debts. They collected fear. "You're safe here," he said again. Lily looked up at him. "You promise?" Caleb hesitated. He had made promises once. To a woman, to a life that didn't survive the frontier. "I promise," he said anyway. The riders reached the plain before nightfall. 5 of them, broad silhouettes cutting through. The storm like wolves who knew exactly where the wounded prey had gone. Jed Mercer rode at the front. The Circle Bar brand burned fresh on his coat, red against black. His eyes were pale. Empty things. Eyes that didn't remember mercy because they'd never needed it. He raised a gloved fist. The riders halted. "They came this way," Jed said calmly. "Tracks are near gone, but not gone enough." One of the men spat. "Blizzard'll finish the job." Jed smiled thinly. "No," he said. "Men like Rourke don't die that easy." The name carried weight, history. "Circle Bar wants the girl," Jed continued. "Alive, if possible. Dead, if not." "What about the cowboy?" Jed's smile widened. "I want him breathing when I start." Back at the ranch, Caleb woke to the sound of hooves. Not close yet. He moved fast. He barricaded the doors with furniture, loaded his rifle, and checked the barn sightlines through the cracked windows. Snow had slowed everything, but not enough. Lily sat by the fire, wrapped in blankets too big for her. "You scared?" he asked. She nodded. "So am I," Caleb said. "But we'll face it together." A knock echoed through the house. Not hard, polite. "Caleb Rourke," a voice called. "I know you're in there." Caleb's blood went cold. "Jed Mercer." He stepped into the main room, rifle trained on the door. "Leave," Caleb shouted. "You got no claim here." Jed laughed softly. "Ain't about land. Ain't about money. It's about balance." The door creaked open slowly. And then a gunshot shattered the night. The window beside Caleb exploded inward, glass and wood spraying the room. He fired back, the recoil slamming into his shoulder. Lily screamed. "Get down!" Caleb yelled. Gunfire thundered around the house as the Circle Bar riders closed in. Caleb moved like instinct and memory guided him. Reload, fire, shift position. He dropped one man from the porch, another from the tree line, but the storm hid them well. Then the shooting stopped. Silence pressed in. Jed's voice drifted through the dark again. "You can't win this, Rourke," he called. "You're tired. You're alone." Caleb tightened his grip. "I ain't alone." A shadow moved at the edge of the barn. A woman stepped into view. Long coat, rifle slung easy. Snow clinging to dark hair. Caleb's breath caught. "Emily?" She raised her gun, eyes hard but familiar. "Still owe me answers, Caleb," she said. "And you picked one hell of a night to need help."